This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Patricia Wood Barnes. You know her as Sister Schubert on this edition of Conversations. The year was 1989 in Troy, Alabama, when Patricia Wood Barnes agreed to bake some rolls for a church food fair. Her good deed for the church would ultimately lead to the launch of a national food brand. Sister Schubert's yeast rolls have become a mealtime favorite at dinner tables around the nation. Today, Sister Schubert's rolls are baked by the millions. Patricia Wood Barnes ultimately sold her business to a larger corporation. However, she continues to hold an executive position with the company. These days, much of her time is spent giving to those in need. Through her family foundation, Sister Schubert helps feed the hungry, provide shelter for abandoned children, and fund historic preservation projects. We are proud and pleased to welcome Patricia Wood Barnes. You know her as Sister Schubert to this edition of Conversations. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Real pleasure to meet you.
You too.
What a great story you have. Tell me how it all started.
Well, I've been told it's a Cinderella story in the grocery business. I did bake about 20 pans of these rolls back in 1989 for my church food fair.
Okay.
And I had never frozen the rolls. They were always, I thought they had to be baked fresh. You know, people think, I've got to bake the bread today.
Yeah.
And so, but this was a frozen food fair. So I tested about 20 pans and lo and behold, they thawed perfectly and came out of the oven just right, like I had just baked them. So the idea to freeze this wonderful yeast roll of my grandmother's came from that frozen food fair. And to have an item in a grocery store that's unique is kind of rare.
Yeah.
But there were lots of frozen doughs and a couple of garlic bread loaves, but
Right.
nothing like a little yeast roll that was
Right.
fully baked and frozen. So I filled a little niche in the grocery store market that enabled me to quickly rise to, you know, some sort of prominence with my little rolls.
Well, of course they're absolutely delicious, and I have to admit, when I first became aware of it, of your brand was I don't know, Christmas, Thanksgiving, or something like that, and somebody said, "Well, we've got to put the Sister Schuberts in the oven," and I said, "You're going to put who in the oven?" And then it was quickly made aware. Oh, it's the great tasting rolls that we have for lunch or dinner, whatever the case may be. Well, take me back. You must have had an interesting relationship with your grandmother. She's the one that taught you how to bake.
She is, and I was about 12 years old, and I was the granddaughter that would run into the kitchen and climb up on the stool, and if she'd let me stir a pot or hold a spoon, I was thrilled. And so she came and got me one right before Thanksgiving when I was 12 years old, and she said, "I'm going to take you home and I'm going to teach you how to make my little dinner rolls." And she did. And so after that, it became my job for the family affairs to bake the rolls. And so that is how I became the roll queen, so to speak.
That's how you became Sister Schubert.
That's right. That's right.
Tell me about your grandmother.
Well, Gami was not just an inspiration in the kitchen. My grandmother was also an entrepreneurial inspiration to me. When her husband died at a young age, and my father was the only son in the family and was called off to the war, my grandmother ran the furniture business that had been theirs for over 100 years.
Wow.
And so I watched her as an example of an entrepreneur, a wife, a mother, you know, someone to give you inspiration in every aspect of your life. Yeah. And I cherished her input in my life so much, so very much.
Mm-hmm. In today's world, you talk about your grandmother having done it, and you've obviously done it because I know you have a large family. How do you reach that balance of career and family? What's the key?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with you have to know your purpose in life. And once you realize this is my purpose, this is what I'm supposed to do, and don't become overwhelmed with every aspect of it. It's like I tell my daughter Chrissy, who's also running a business and trying to raise 4 children, when she starts to say, "But I missed this appointment and the child was late to this," I go, "It's okay. She got there." Don't let the little things disturb you. Keep your purpose, keep your focus, and take it one step at a time. Don't become overwhelmed.
What's the key to finding your purpose?
Well, my key to finding my purpose in life was my faith and my family, and keeping all of those things very close to me and very much an important part of my life.
I know you're outspoken about your Christian faith.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that relationship.
Well, God was a part of my personal life for a long time, pretty much all my life. I was raised a little Baptist girl and went to church every time the doors were open. And God and Jesus just became my leading force in my life, along with my parents and my family and the people that loved me. But when I started this business back in 1992, I took another step and asked God to become my business partner as well as my life partner. And having him on board, I knew that I would often make mistakes, but he wouldn't. And whenever I found something that came up that I thought I needed some advice about, I'd always go to him. And it wasn't always the answer I thought I was going to get or wanted to get, but it was the answer that I needed. So he's just been an integral part of everything that I've done all my life.
Do you feel like you just sort of let go and said, take me in this direction?
Yes. And it's funny how when you let his will take over in your life, things just get so much better.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I heard or saw in an interview Oprah Winfrey say something almost like that, that when she sort of let go and believed. So I think that's just very interesting. And so, well, take me back here for a second. So you had the success with the church event, and you realize you're kind of onto something. So take me through the steps of how you went from cooking in the house and supplying the church to a national brand.
Well, I decided after the third food fair, when the church secretary called me and said, "Sister, we've got over 300 orders for your rolls," because they had put them on a list for people to take orders. And I sort of realized at that point that I might have something that people might like, not just in Troy, Alabama, and not just at the holidays. So I did. I went to the grocery store and I bought Ziploc bags and plastic pans until I could find a somewhat wholesale supplier for those things. Bought stick-on labels that fell off in the freezer more often than they stayed on, and started with 3 little entrepreneurial grocery stores. And if I could get someone to agree to buy the rolls, then my 2 daughters, Charlotte and Chrissy, were about 14 and 16 at the time. I would put little white lacy aprons on us and we would go hand out samples. Because my motto's been from day one that if I can get you to try them, I can get you to buy them. So we would go in and we would set up and we would demo the rolls and pass them out, and invariably we sold out every time. And it just really truly started from that. It was a marketing tool that I didn't even realize was going to be my best marketing tool from day one. Is we still demo the rolls and pass them out, and that's how we sell so many of them.
Well, tell me the story. How did you get it to the next level, though, after just the small grocery stores? How did you take it to the next level?
Well, I went to see Mrs. Ingram, the first little lady in the little curb market that had bought my rolls for the very first time. And she said, "Well, you're going to need a food broker if you're going to go to, food distributors and bigger grocery store chains." So I looked in the phone book and I found Graham Schubert Brokerage Company out of Montgomery, Alabama. And I went in, armed with my 4 little pans of different rolls, and met a fellow by the name of George Barnes. And he was the first food broker that I encountered that carried my rolls to the grocery stores to sell them. And in 1994, he came on board as the broker for Sister Schubert's, and in 1995 we were married.
Okay.
And about 3 years ago, literally after we've been married for over 20 years, I asked him one day, I said, "George, what did you think about those rolls the first time I brought them in and showed them to you at the brokerage office?" And he said, he sort of smiled, he said, "I wasn't worried about how I was going to sell those rolls. I was worried about how I was going to get the roll lady to marry me." And that's a true story. I had no idea, though. He was a perfect gentleman, perfect businessman and everything, until that point came when he and I decided that it was meant that we were not just going to be business partners, we were going to be life partners as well.
Well, what's that like, working with your husband?
Well, the wonderful part about it is that his job was always selling the rolls, and my job was always making the rolls.
Yeah.
So we would pass sometimes like ships in the day at the bakery because he was always out somewhere selling the rolls, and I was always on the production floor making the rolls.
Yeah.
So we really had two different jobs, and we never did get in each other's way very much. So
Yeah.
it's been a wonderful relationship.
Yeah.
He's been my best friend, and just can't wait for the rest of our life together.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. As the business grew, you eventually sold to a larger company. Now, how did that come about, and what was your reasoning behind that?
Well, we sold to Lancaster Colony Corporation out of Columbus, Ohio, and we really did it for two reasons. The first reason was that they had the broad-based marketing team already in place to take us to national brand status. But the most important reason was that the president of the company came to me and said, if you will agree to sell the company to us, we want you to stay on and help run it. They historically bought family-run companies and asked those families to keep running the company because they saw the value in what that family had brought to that product. And so that's what we did. And for the last 12, almost 13 years now, George and I have still been with Sister Schubert's. He is the vice president now of operations, and I'm the vice president and founder.
Okay.
And research and development is what I do. Plus, I'm like the brand spokesperson. I travel around the country and just meet and greet and say hello to prospective buyers and to our customers as well.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
I bet it is. I bet it is.
I get to do all the things I love to do
Right.
about this company, and the things I didn't really love about financial decisions and things like that, I don't have to do those anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
Sounds like
wonderful.
they almost take kind of the Warren Buffett approach. I mean, he's bought so many companies along the way and just simply left the founders in charge and let them continue to do well with it. And
Seems to be working.
I think
Working
it
for
wo-
us anyway.
Yeah, it worked for him okay
Yeah,
too.
it's working pretty well for Sister Schubert's, I know that.
Absolutely. Well, when you say you're in research and development now, are you constantly thinking of new things to
yes.
what's that process like for you?
Well, we actually have teams at Sister Schubert's in Laverne. We have teams in Horse Cave, where we have another large bakery there in Horse Cave, Kentucky, and in Columbus, Ohio. So we have a huge team of people that are constantly, we come up with a concept. Sometimes I do, sometimes someone else does. And then we start testing, well, would it be good if we did this, or if we added cranberries, or if we, so it's really kind of fun because I've always believed that the lifeblood of any product in the grocery store is new items.
Right.
You've got to have something fresh and new coming up, constantly, or you might, fall behind.
Yeah.
So, we're always trying to come up with something new and different, but it'll always be bread.
Yeah, always bread related. What's your favorite recipe? I know because I know you do more with your Sister Schubert rolls other than just
We
use
do
them as
lots
rolls.
of
So you
things,
do lots of stuff with it.
yes,
What's
yes.
your favorite thing to
Well,
do?
my favorite roll is the orange roll. And a lot of people don't even know we have an orange roll because the distribution on those is not as big as it used to be. But I've always loved that orange roll. It's so fresh and so wonderful, and we use freshly squeezed orange juice in the icing and fresh orange zest, and it is truly like a taste of a homemade roll when you have it. And it's great with not just for breakfast, but chicken and duck and fowl. It's just my favorite roll. So, of course, the Parkhouse roll is the best roll, best-selling roll. And every recipe came from that recipe. That is the basic recipe for all the rolls that we do, except for some of our, like we have a new pretzel roll, and we have some other rolls that we don't use that same basic recipe. But most of our recipes all stem from that one basic recipe of my grandmother's, and she named this roll recipe in her little handwritten cookbook, Everlasting Rolls. You can't make that up.
No. What do you think your grandmother would think of you right now?
Oh, I know she'd be so proud. She would just be so thrilled that she planted that seed in me to love to bake and cook, and especially bread. And from that seed that she planted in me, look at all the wonderful things that have happened and the people that have been blessed and helped. And I just think that she's probably smiling away.
Let's talk about your philanthropy, because you have a family foundation. What are you doing with that foundation?
Well, when we sold the stock of the company, George and I were more blessed financially than we ever dreamed we would be. And so we wanted to do something to give back to some of those communities and people that had done so much to help us get to where we were. So we did form the Family Foundation in order to do that. And we did it with three main purposes. Of course, feeding the hungry because of our bread. Sure. We've always been really active in giving to food banks and helping to give supplies of food and things to people that need it. We also believe it's very important to know where you came from, so we have an historical aspect and preservation aspect to the foundation. And because I always think if you don't know where you came from, how in the world are you going to know where you're going? So we believe in encouraging people to follow their roots and take care of preserving things that are very special. And I see that everywhere, especially here in the Pensacola area. There's a lot of that goes on. I'm really tickled about that. But we also think that it's important to educate people. And so we have a scholarship that we give to a foreign student to travel abroad, either to come here and travel and study, or for a student here to go there and travel. So that because I think it's important for us to realize that we're not just America, we're not just Europe, we're not, just China. We're all one big world now, and we need to learn how to get along, I think, a little bit better. And one way to do that is direct communication. So that's what the three main purposes of the foundation are. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that I'm so in God's will that if I see a need that it's not going to, possibly be answered, because that's what I'm here for, is to listen to His will. It's not my money, it's His. Right.
Tell me about what you're doing in the Ukraine.
Well, I was working away at the bakery one day about 10, 11 years ago, maybe even more than that now. And the mayor of Louisville, Alabama called me up and he said, "Sister, you need to come to the Rotary Club meeting today. There's a missionary that's going to be speaking there, and I think you might like what he has to say." And so I did. And he was talking about wanting to start a little church in a small town in Ukraine, Gorlovka. And he was wanting to also help the abandoned and orphaned children there. And of course, children are my heart. I have 5 children and 7 grandchildren, hopefully more after this, but right now I'm stopping at 12. And so children are definitely a big part of my life, and always have been. And so I was moved to help him with this abandoned baby site. And after a couple of years of just writing that check, which some of us often do, because that's easy to do, he kept telling me, "You've got to come see what you're doing here. It's wonderful what you're doing. You've just got to come see what's happening. And by the way, we need to build a foster home for children with real parents, because, when you put them in an orphanage setting, it's not quite like being in a home setting, as we've learned in America. With foster care has become really the way we go here. Hadn't been what they do there until 3 years ago, when we opened Sasha's home, which is a foster care home with 6 beautiful apartments with 5 bedrooms. And we have some of the most loving, if you've ever been around a foster parent, you know what I mean. They are the kindest, sweetest, gentlest, most wonderful people. To take someone else's child and raise them as their own is truly a blessed thing to be able to do. And so we were there, and I was working away at this orphanage and seeing how that was going to go, and at the foster home, and we had taken some of our children to the orphanage, and because Sasha's home wasn't ready yet, that were from our abandoned site, and they asked me if I'd like to meet the children that were going to have to go to the orphanage. And of course, me with my glass always half full, I said, "Sure, I'll be glad to." Well, I rounded the corner of this room with about 40 baby beds, and right in the center of this room was this little blonde-headed, blue-green-eyed boy, about 2 years old. And my translator was with me, and she had tears in her eyes, and she was talking to the nurse there about this baby. And I said, "Why are you crying? He's so beautiful." She said, "Yes, he is, and he's very bright and wonderful, but sadly he'll never be adopted. He has club feet that go like this and this." And so I could tell this little boy had latched onto my eyes and was looking at me, and he followed me all the way around the room. And I was, like I've said several times today, in God's will. And when you're in God's will and He has something that He wants you to do, you don't get away from that very easily. And I had been put on this plane by my wonderful George to go over there. And when he did that, he said, "We've got 4 beautiful children and 3 beautiful grandchildren at that time." And I said, "Oh, I know, George. Don't worry. I love all these children. They're ours anyway. We're taking care of them. Don't worry about that." Well, I'm walking around the room, and this little baby just will not stop looking at me. And I'm picking up every other baby, and that's fine. I can love them and put them down. But when I made my way over to this little boy, and I put my fingers on his crib, and he grabbed my fingers in his hands, and he looked at me, I knew he was saying, "You're the one. You're going to save me, aren't you?" And I knew that somehow this child and I would forever be linked. I didn't know exactly how, but I knew something was going on. And when I got home, it was right around Christmas, and I started telling all our friends at church and parties that we'd go to about my experiences in Ukraine. And I would invariably get around to this little blonde-headed, blue-green-eyed boy that I had just fallen in love with that needed his feet fixed. And George was asking me one day before Christmas, he said, you know, you always tell me that you don't want anything for Christmas except for everybody to be happy and healthy, and that is true. I do say that every year. He said, but you know the children, when there's nothing under the tree, how they look at me. So you got to tell me something that I can get you for this Christmas. And I said, well, the only thing I can think of is I want you to give me a little boy that we can give a chance to walk in this life and be everything that God wants him to be. And he said, well, you're not going to bring him here and give him that chance and fall in love with him and our whole family and send him back for somebody else to love. So we better start the adoption process. So Alexander McDavid Barnes is our 5th child, and they told me not to expect anything other than for him to walk flat-footed, that he would never run or play sports or any of that. Well, he's the goaltender on the soccer team, played t-ball and baseball, and he could run circles around you and me any day. So I told him, I said, no, he's going to be everything God wants him to be, and he is.
How old is he now?
He's 12.
12 years old.
And when I left him this morning, I said, bye, Alex, I love you. And he said, I love you more. That's the kind of relationship we have.
Yeah,
it's just wonderful.
Story.
He's been more to us than we've ever meant to him, I think. So
I can imagine. So what a touching story. What do you make of what's going on in Ukraine these days? And as we tape this show, it's an ever-evolving issue, but as we tape it here in April, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that this is not going to end with Crimea. There will be already infiltration, and was from the beginning, from day one, of Russian troops into eastern Ukraine. I do someday, in the not too far future, see that it's going to be a strong possibility that there may be some separation of western and eastern Ukraine. I pray that won't happen, because our Sasha's home is in the eastern part of Ukraine. But from everything, the boots that are on the ground with my people, it's not looking very good. And I'm just, in God's will, and so is Ukraine, and I'm just praying that His will be done there. But it's not looking very good right now.
It's going to be very interesting to watch. Interesting times in our world.
Very.
Very much. I would be remiss if I did not ask this. Where did the name Sister Schubert come from?
Well, I was going to have to answer that anyway, because I cannot give a speech without that question coming up. And when I was born, my older sister, Charlotte, was only about 16 months old. And my parents named me Patricia. And she couldn't say Patricia. So my parents said, well, just call her sister. She's your sister. And so my other siblings did, my friends did, my college professors did, my husband does. I think I was just supposed to be sister, not Patricia, so I've been sister. And Schubert was my name before I married George, so Sister Schubert was the name that we gave to the roles. I wanted to call them just sisters roles, but it was too generic. We couldn't trademark that. So it's a fitting name, though, I think. It's funny, I'll meet people for the first time, and they'll go, well, I didn't expect you to look like that. And I'm thinking, well, I hope that's not bad. And they said, we just thought you were a nun. I said, well, there could be worse things you could be thought of.
That's right. That's right.
So that's okay with me, too.
It's interesting. So your sister's responsible for the great brand, huh?
That's right. And she's proud of it, too. She tells everybody that story.
What advice do you have, particularly for young women who would like to start their own business?
Well, it goes back to what I originally said in the first of our conversation. You have to, first of all, believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product or your service, whatever it is you're doing. Hard work. You have to surround yourself with good employees, with good advice. Hard work. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Hard work is going to be a part of any successful venture. Right. It just goes hand in hand. And to keep your focus, keep your purpose, and don't veer off. Say, for instance, I had people say to me, well, why don't you make some pies? Why don't you do this? I said, my focus is breads. And I will stay true to what I believe I'm supposed to be manufacturing and what I know best. Yeah. Stay with what you know best, and don't ever give up. You can do it. All things are possible with God's help. Yeah. You know, it's just, I never let any stumbling block that came across my path, I never looked at it as an obstacle. I just looked at it as, that's the next step. I got to do that now. Yeah. Don't ever think I've got to quit this. I'm never going to make this happen. Yeah. This is never going to work. Don't ever say that.
You know, so many people would love to have their own business. I mean, they'd love to go out on their own, but they're just afraid to take that first step. How do you take that first step?
Well, that's probably the difference in me and so many people that have great products, great ideas. I took that first step. Yeah. You've got to take it. You've got to believe that you can make it happen. And if you don't, then it won't.
Yeah. Can't be afraid of failure.
Can't be afraid of failure. Yeah. Don't look at failure.
Yeah.
Don't look at that at all. Look straight ahead.
Yeah. But you will fail along the way.
Along the way, yes.
So the key is resilience. It's recovery.
Yes.
How do you best cope with that?
Well, don't ever take on more than you feel comfortable with. Number one, unless you believe that you can raise enough capital or you can make enough money, profit, to pay for that expansion, don't do it yet. Wait until you feel certain. Grow as fast as you can to maintain your quality, but keep your quality of what you're doing. Don't let someone say, don't be enticed by, well, I need a truckload of that. Well, if you can't produce a truckload of that successfully with the quality of that 2 pallets, don't go there until you can, until you're sure you can take that next step. Good. Surround yourself with the most wonderful people and advice you can get. Yeah. I'll never forget my first plant manager. When he came to interview for the job, I asked him what he needed in a salary, and it was more than I was paying myself. But I knew I needed him. Yeah. So I hired him. I just took a pay cut. You do what you know is right, yeah. You know.
In about 30 seconds, what's the future for you?
Well, I know that I will bake bread. I know that I will share, that I will love others, and I will try to be a good steward of what the Lord has so graciously given me, and be thankful every day for every breath that I still take.
What a real pleasure to visit with you.
You too. You as well.
Thank you so very much. Yes. Best of luck to you, your foundation.
Thank you. I'm already blessed. I could die happily tomorrow and never look back.
Well, you're a great inspiration.
Thank you.
Yeah. Best of luck to that young man too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yes.
That's exciting. What a wonderful thing you and your husband and your family did.
He did it. I didn't do it.
Very nice. Pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Patricia Barnes is her name, but you know her as Sister Schubert. She's been our guest on this edition of Conversations. By the way, you can see more of our conversations online at WSRE.org/conversations. I'm Jeff Weeks. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Take great care of yourself. We'll see you soon.
Support for this program is provided in part by these corporate sponsors. And by viewers like you.